Well,
we are the people of Mercury. I am your interplanetary host, Travis Montgomery. These views reflect one planet and one planet alone.
Mercury's Cast. This is your host, Travis Montgomery, accompanied by co-host Alexander. Say what's up to the people.
what's up to the people?
Thank you. Please go to Mercury's Cast on Facebook and push the like button. Follow us on Mercury's Cast on Twitter and Instagram. And coming to you soon, a new YouTube page where we will be posting some promotional videos, so look out for that. I'm out here in Bakersfield. I actually got a T-shirt on tonight. I don't have to wear 2 sweaters and a jacket because for some reason it's not freezing cold outside. And I'm just out here. And let's welcome one returning guest and one new guest. Jordan, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm cool, man. How are you? I'm doing
pretty good. I'm kind of tired. I went to bed late last night. JMC, how are you doing over there somewhere in the central?
Yeah, I am in the Midwest. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm doing well, Travis, man. Thank you for having me on, man. It's been a long time coming, so.
Yeah, it's been, this is kind of one of the just, unexpected. Mm-hmm. So how was church tonight? And can you share a little bit of the message?
Bible study was wonderful. It was based on waiting on God's promises for you, not being anxious to do it your own way. I think we read out of Psalms tonight, Psalms 27:4, Psalms 37:5, and Psalms 130:5. And they're all basically saying, just wait on the Lord, man. His promises are golden. If you depend on anybody else, they'll pretty much probably let you down, man. But God's word is for certain. So, it was good. I needed that.
That is powerful. Powerful, yeah. Jay coming through. Right on, man. Well, me, I don't even know how to even approach anything, but I'm an open book. You can ask me anything that you want to. I'll try and refrain from asking too many questions about you, unless you don't mind. I mean, I don't know.
Man, you know me, man. You know me my whole life, man. So I'm open, man. It's all good with me.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay, I'm not gonna. Dude, you know me. I'm not gonna throw you under the bus or anything. Looks like Tim's ready. So you had to go away for a little bit.
Yeah.
That was not cool, right? Not fun times.
No, horrible.
Yeah.
Horrific.
What you want to talk about it or anything?
I can elaborate on that. When people don't know me, I've been in prison, and I had to do some extensive time away from loved ones, family, friends. The midst of that, it helped me achieve the level of the man I wanted to be, which is, that's everybody. Everybody has to go through whatever they have to go through to be who they need to be, and that's just what it is. I had to learn a different route than most people. Some people go away and go to college. Some people go into the army or, armed forces. Some people, or whatever they do. I had to go to prison for me to understand the level of being that I need to be. That's how I look at it today, But of course, going through it was horrific. Prison is prison, and if anybody who's ever been there, they know, being told when to eat, when to take a shower, when to use the restroom, when to go to sleep, when to wake up. That's like, it plays on your conscience a lot, man. But, I'm here now today. I'm well. I'm married a while now, and
that's right.
Life is good, man. So I'm all right.
That's good, man. That's it's good to see you happy.
Yeah.
Jordan, I don't know. You got anything to say? That you guys talk? Oh no, you guys were hanging out the other night. What the hell were you guys doing?
Nah, I was
I saw a picture on I just saw a picture on Facebook. I don't know if you guys were hanging out or not.
No, that's that's my man for $100,000. We all grew up kind of in Cerritos. Share the same stories, different stories and different angles.
A lot of stories.
But, yeah.
Well, that's great. I know we're just itching to talk about something that most people don't want to talk about. Alexander, you got anything to share with us? You still walking 50 miles a week, or is that kind of slacked off a little bit?
No, I actually this week has been a little bit worse. Had to get to Napa twice this week, and it's a bit of a walk. But
oh, you walked there?
One of the days. So there and
how far away is that from you? Like
miles? Not sure. I know in a car that
15?
In a car today that took 30 minutes to get there and about 25 minutes to get back. So
there's no way you walked that far.
Oh, there is a way.
No wonder you're so thirsty when you got home.
Yeah, I'm still doing that. Not too much new with me. Just working on graphics, bud.
Hell yeah, and I appreciate you for that.
Just trying to keep up with the nerdy shit involved in the podcast.
That's good. And we got. You want to talk about maybe the new YouTube channel that we're gonna? I know there's a lot on this YouTube channel, but there's going to be a new one coming up.
That's the plan, at least. Basically, more bite-sized and palatable bits of the show. So more trimmed down post-production, definitely not live. Just a little bit more refined materials, so that people who just want to tune in for a little bit get a snippet of what we're talking about. Just a taste, just the tip. See how it feels.
Not the whole. Just a tip. That's the biggest lie ever.
Yep.
Tickling the top of the show if you get me.
All right, we are ready.
So that's the goal.
Well, all right, cool. Let's start this off. I guess let me ask the question to either of you three. Is Donald Trump a racist?
No.
Nah.
Yeah, personally not racist. Maybe some of it, but most of his the people that are racist are supporting him.
Yeah.
If you're asking me, Timmy dropped out. As far as me, I'm concerned, I don't think Trump's a racist. I think he's poorly spoken, but I don't think any of his actions indicate that he's a racist. I just think he's a jackass.
But some people that support him are the people that are the racists are supporting him.
But certainly people that supported Obama were racists, and certainly people that supported Hillary during this election were racists.
Absolutely.
I mean, racism, despite popular beliefs, I certainly think racism goes every which way. For anyone that didn't see George Lopez's racial freakout using the N-word on stage, freaking out one of his members.
I thought that was a Seinfeld guy.
No. That was years ago. I'm talking more recently. George Lopez recently.
Oh, George Lopez did that?
Yeah, he kicked out a black lady from his show because he made some racial remarks. And this is him after criticizing Trump for making racial remarks. He goes to his show and says that the one rule in a Mexican household is to never bring home a black person. And I'm just looking at it going, my girlfriend is dork. You've seen her. She's dark.
Well,
and if I were to say that kind of shit, I would be roasted at the stake. And I think that anyone else. So, all right,
so that brings up an interesting question. I mean, how Jason? Let me ask you. How should we? Because I would just say she's black.
Uh-huh.
And am I wrong for saying that? Or
No.
Should I refer to her? I mean, some people would get offended by that, though. They would rather be called African American.
Yeah, I mean, well, my thing is this. Okay, the whole term African American for me, you know, that you already know where I'm going. Okay, for me, right, that's kind of a racial as well. I mean, because for the simple fact that I'm not from Africa, I've never been to Africa. You know, like I could trace my family line back a couple generations. You know, not as many as most, but you know, maybe about 4 or 5 generations. None of them have been to Africa. You know, like lived there or anything. I'm American. Now, what color I am, you know, I mean, that's up for grabs. You know, I'm as light as, you know, most white people half the time. You know what I mean? So, you know, black, we call black. It is what, you know, for me, it's what you are. You know, I'm an American, you know, and American deems me as a black man. So I'm a black man. I'm fine with that. If you want to call me African American, I'm fine with that. You know, I have other black people that call me nigga. I'm fine with that. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm secure with who I am as my race. So, but now that's when the sensitivity comes in. I'm not sensitive, you know, to other people's beliefs in that. You know, like George Lopez, he wasn't wrong in saying that. You know, 95% of Hispanics households, and that's actually 95% of any household, would rather
bring somebody else.
bring anybody else but a black man home. Like, I'm married to a Filipino, you know, and I'm sure, I mean, her parents love me to death. But as a rule, that is, you know, you'd rather bring something else home than a black man, you know, as a rule. And so, I mean, you know, George Lopez's comments weren't racist. You know, his comments may have struck a nerve like most stereotypes do. But stereotypes all come from somewhere.
As a brief aside, though, this is also keeping in mind that George Lopez has criticized Trump for being a racist. So he called the racist card while simultaneously making those comments.
And
just perspective.
You know what that comes from? That's that double standard of minorities. You know, as minorities, we all feel like, you know, I mean, nobody says anything about, you know, Martin Lawrence or Dave Chappelle saying cracker through their show, you know, but let a white man say the N-word, you know what I mean? And it's going to get real touchy. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I even have that written down. There's a double standard where everybody can trash white people all day long and nobody says anything. But you go the other way, and me as a white person, I mean, I cross over some boundaries sometimes for some of the shit that I send, but it's just like kind of what I'm thinking or feeling, and it may come off as like some kind of crazy shit because a lot of people aren't used to hearing even, you know, anyone saying anything bad. Or then here's the other thing is that people have their own circle. So they have their own circle of people they communicate with, and then that just becomes their real thing.
Yeah.
And now I'm bird walking. But the double standard exists, and that's one of the things that frustrates me.
What about you, Jordan?
Okay.
It really is.
Yeah, Jordan, say something.
I just want to, like, all right. Are we all under like the same belief that everybody is equal?
Yeah.
Right. And
I'd hope so.
there are stupid people in every group, and especially when you're breaking it down to race. Yeah. Right there. If there's 10%, you know, stupid Asian people, then there's 10% stupid Mexican people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right? Like are we all in agreement on that?
Yes, and it's always the 10% that represent the race as a whole too.
Yeah. It seems pretty equal across the board.
Yeah.
So in saying that, when you're talking about the pure numbers over America, you know, you're talking about the double standard. That double standard is never weighing out, because when you're talking about the minorities that are going to be, you know, cracking the jokes or whatever, they get the pass with the N-word or something like that. That's still a vast minority of the country that's doing that. It doesn't become a shift shifter until, you know, whites, who are the majority, until they decide to move. And in the history of the country, like that doesn't happen until, there's distress and disalarm. Like it's never moved peacefully and without, the proverbial conflict.
I think that's an interesting point.
I didn't. It's not that I wasn't paying attention. I didn't really catch what you said. So that we're equal across the board,
right?
And some people use the N word.
We're equal in percentage of stupid people, but white people make up a vast majority of Americans, and therefore we have a larger number of stupid people.
Exactly. And so
I agree. I totally agree.
Hey, but listen.
That still rings true. It's under 50%.
In the same flesh though, say when you're talking about job opportunities, you're gonna have more qualified white candidates just because there's more white people.
By sheer number.
So if we're
sheer number.
Yeah, if we're saying that everyone's equal.
Which statistics actually show. Well, statistics on that. That's a great point. Is that yes, there are going to be more qualified white people, but if you look at the statistics of hiring in America right now, there's actually a disparity in both men and white people of getting, higher paying jobs. Right now, you're seeing a huge uptick in number of people of minority ethnicities as well as men being hired. So if you say you're going to a STEM field,
who's taking off right now?
I don't know, but they're going fast. But if you're a woman, you are 6 times more likely than a man to get a job in a STEM field. And if you are a minority, you are twice as likely than a white man to get a job in a STEM field.
Okay.
Regardless, and that's totally disregarding merit. That's just talking pure statistics.
Just two things. First off, when you're talking about the affirmative action, women have slid through that more so than any other group. White women specifically have slid through that more than anyone. And what plight that like I said, I start off with, I want everyone to be equal, right? But in the state of the development and building of the country, Black men in particular are the ones that have been the most oppressed. So whenever it comes down to, the minority numbers, but how many of those are actually Black men that are getting those positions? Because that can be
6.5%, by the way.
6.5%. It could be anything else.
No.
And then when you're talking about that number, in general, how many of them are overqualified for the position that they're getting?
That's a lot of people, though. Not at all to devalue that, but that's a lot of people in this day and age, and that's a totally separate talking point. But a lot of people are currently overqualified for jobs, but that's more of moving from
this day and age doesn't exist. Let me give just an analogy, real quick analogy. Let's say that I had a cup of water or just a glass, right, and I peed in it. Would you drink that fluid? No, right?
No.
Right. Now, let's say that I dumped half of it out and then I put a half of fresh water in there. Would you drink that?
You're still pissing it.
No.
I would drink it.
Travis likes drinking pee.
How many generations would have to pass through before that water would be clear enough for you to drink?
Probably 2 or 3.
So you're telling me that when it's 1/8 piss, you'll drink it?
Yeah.
How thirsty am I?
That's not 1/8 piss. No, that's not 1/8 piss, though. If you want to talk math with me, we're going to talk math. You just talked about filling a cup halfway up with water and pissing in it. So as of the first generation, you're talking about half pissed. No. You said a cup of water. You said a cup of water.
I said, and I said I'm gonna dump it out. You just have a cup.
So first
to the top with just
the
piss.
First generation is half piss. Second generation is
America,
a quarter piss.
Right.
Third generation is an 1/8 piss. So now adjusting what I said, given that, so no,
you just said 3. You just said 3 generations, right?
I said 3 generations under the impression that it was already half pissed to start with. So 4
it's
generations.
1/8. So even if you're talking about
1/16,
so even if you're talking about 1/16, there's nobody in the world that is going to take 1/16. Well, no one in this country that is going to take 1/16 piss.
I got a quote for you.
Like, that's a lie.
I got a quote for you, though. Do I have to drink my own urine? No, but it's sterile and I like the taste. There are always going to be people who will drink piss. And if it's a 16th piss, that's barely noticeable piss. That's better than the tap water you get in my hometown.
Or in Flint, Michigan, for that matter.
No.
I'll take a 16th of your piss than my own
And you mean to tell
water.
me that when you're talking about the American dream and you're talking about equality, you mean to tell me that 1/16 of piss is cool when another group of people is drinking fresh, clean water?
Fresh, clean water.
But if you really want to get into it, is any group really drinking fresh, clean water?
Absolutely. Okay, now let
I'd
me
like
say
to hear this.
Okay, now let's say this. Back to what we were talking about, minorities and women getting hired for jobs. Yeah, they're getting hired for these jobs, but who are the owners of these companies? Who are the CEOs? Who are the COOs? Who are the presidents? Like
White women, white
You're
men.
going to punish people for being successful?
Still to this day, white men in America are still that upper echelon. You know what I mean? So look, listen. This is my main point that I've been kind of wanting to make all day, right? When I know I was coming on here. Like, at the end of the day, if I had a country, if I found a piece of land that was perfect for me and my family, and I set out to colonize it and build up a home, and I see the future with my family, my wife, my kids, my grandkids, my great-grandkids, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that this land stays within my lineage, my family line. That is going to be my number one goal. So from the foundation of my country, the foundation of my land, my environment, I'm going to do whatever it is I need to do to set up so that my people will never fall out of power. Like, who would not, really?
Well,
that's what they do in pretty much every other country in the world.
Let me pose a question to you. Do you and this is because this all boils down to